Alright, welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over why, after 10 months of trading with Suretrader, I have now decided to close out of my account. For anyone who's ever used Suretrader before, when you go to their homepage, if you're in the United States, you immediately get this pop-up. This pop-up is pretty normal because it's an offshore brokerage account, and so it just wants to make sure that you weren't solicited to this website, that you came here basically on your own free will, which I did because I have an account with them. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in here, and you will see the main reason why I've decided I don't want to be with this broker anymore. You ready? My account's blocked. I can't get into my account anymore. And that's extremely scary because this happened to me while I was in the middle of a trade. So not only was I not able to close out of my trade when I needed to close out of that trade, I was forced to hold it overnight. And for anyone who uses Suretrader or is familiar with their commissions, you know that it costs a lot in commissions to hold something overnight. To this day, I still don't know why my account got blocked. I've emailed them about it, and they just completely ignored that part of my email. My reasoning for even having a Suretrader account, because some of you may be asking, why would I pick to have an offshore broker when there's plenty of other brokers that I could use that aren't offshore? My reasoning for using this broker was that you could avoid the PDT rule, or the pattern day trader rule, which restricts people with accounts that are under $25,000 to only being able to make 3 day trades in a 5-day period. Also, this account has margin. So, for every $1 that I deposit into Suretrader, I can use 5 of their dollars for trading. So for every $1,000 that I were to put into this account, I could then use $6,000 in my trade, because I'm using 1,000 of my own money and 5,000 of their money. Now, margin can be really awesome when growing a small account. It allows for much bigger moves. So if I make 1%, I'm really making 6% on my money. So it allows me to grow my account a lot quicker than normal. However, on the flip side, it also allows for me to blow up my account much faster than someone who is not using margin. Now that I've gone over most of the reasons why I was using Suretrader and kind of what they're good for, let me go over what was happening when I found out that my account got blocked. So the day was Tuesday when all of this started. I had taken a really bad trade on JNUG. I entered in at 67.50 and I bought 69 shares, which put me at my max position size right off the bat, around $4,600. It immediately went against me, and instead of just cutting my losses here at like minus 1% when I should have, I continued to hold, and I held through all of this. I held through being down 4% on my day, which is literally 4 times more than I'm willing to accept when cutting losses, and that just screwed with my emotion. I held all day, literally up until 3:20, 3:30, when the market closes at 4 o'clock. So we're half an hour away from the market closing. And I decided that I needed to trim my position size because I wanted to hold this overnight now. For whatever reason, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just revenge trading because I was down so much. And when using Suretrader, you can't hold a position using 6-to-1 margin overnight. It's just, it doesn't allow it because the risk is so high. Like, you could open up down 10% and then owe them money, and they're just not willing to take that risk. So instead, they allow a 2-to-1. So I was trading with $800 of my own money, so I was allowed to hold a position that was around $1,600. Or so they said. That's what they told me my buying power was on my home screen. They said I could afford around $1,600 worth of shares. So I trimmed my position by 45 shares. That brought me down to, I think it was 1585 at the time. I was holding 24 shares and I was ready to go overnight. So I just wanted to double check though, and I got on a live chat with customer support. Now, this chat took so long. Every message that was sent to the representative, it took her at least 3, if not 5 minutes to get back to me. So it was almost every message took an entire candlestick. So I had sold right here at 15.15 for a loss on 45 shares, and I was holding 24 shares. It wasn't until up here at 15.40, and that's the time, that she told me I was above what I was allowed. I didn't take into account that I had went through a loss on those 45 shares. I just figured that what they told me was my overnight buying power was my actual overnight buying power. But it turns out it was actually 1,400, not 1,600. So then I had to pay commissions on selling 2 more shares to meet their requirement. And that's what it is, I guess. It is what it is at this point. I was very, very frustrated, needless to say, because I have a small account and commissions really eat into everything. So I sold the 2 shares, and now we're going into overnight. And I was pretty excited. My sellout point originally was $69 for the record, and we hit that right at the end of the day. So technically speaking, if I didn't have to be out of the trade 30 minutes before market closes, I could have actually made my profit after holding through all this. It just wasn't a good trade. So the next day, we open up, and we're up around $69 a share. And I just want to get out, because I've come to my senses, like I've slept on it, and I understood that I'm going against all of my rules when it comes to day trading on this account. I'm never supposed to hold something all day like I did yesterday, let alone overnight. It's just no. I'm breaking all of my rules when I do that. So I wanted to get out. And that's when I went on to my Suretrader account just to see that I'm blocked. I couldn't sell. They forced me to hold it through the entire day. All day I had to hold this. And now I went from being at my goal and being able to sell those 22 shares for a profit and kind of offset those 45 shares that I had sold the day before for a loss. But instead of doing that, I had to continue to hold and go through this entire roller coaster of emotions again. I was down 4% again. It bounced back up to my buy-in point. I still couldn't sell. I still couldn't access my account. And then I was forced to hold it overnight again. And overnight, I had to pay all the commissions again. I had to pay all the fees for holding it overnight, just for it to open up the next day even lower and then just drop just drop wicked hard. Now remember, I'm in at 67.50, and it drops all the way down to 62. So that's 8% loss on a margin account. That's 16% down on a trade that I didn't even want to hold this long. I could have sold it for a profit over here. Now, I was talking to representatives. Like, I was emailing back and forth with Suretrader at this point, because I could no longer use the live chat, which is down in the bottom left here, because I couldn't log in. And I was emailing back and forth, and I'll put some of the emails up on the screen, or at least parts of it. I was very frustrated, and I was asking, why am I blocked? What can I do? Can you guys compensate me for any of the commissions at least, or the overnight fees, or what? Like, what's going on? Why am I blocked? And they just completely ignored me asking why I was blocked. They didn't. To this day, I still don't know. None of the emails explained why I'm blocked, and now we're on Friday, and they still haven't told me why my account's blocked, and it's still blocked. Luckily, I was able to find a loophole. In between Wednesday into Thursday, I was exploring just this home page, and I was just clicking on things to figure out why it was blocked or what I could do, and I clicked on Account Dashboard, and that brought me right to my home page. So now I just bypassed this entire account blocked message, and I'm right at my home page. And this margin information was very screwed up. I didn't understand any of it. It said my percent equity was like 47%. I had a maintenance call. I had an equity call. My balance was like negative $700. My day trading buying power was, I don't remember what that was, but my overnight buying power was still $700 more that I could use. I don't understand any of what they showed, and I wish I took a screenshot or recorded part of that so that I could show you guys. It just didn't make any sense. And so now, my balance was 800 and change, and now it's all the way down at 582 again. The cutoff's $500. If I drop below that, I'm not allowed to use margin. And I'm just very displeased with all of it. Yeah, it was somewhat my fault because I had taken a bad trade, but it didn't need to be as bad as they made it be. And they're not willing to reimburse me for any of the hardships that I went through during this, because it's not all on me. And for that reason, I'm just done with this broker. I don't want anything to do with them anymore. And I'll show you my trade history here so that you can see exactly what happened, and I'll show the details so that you can see all the juicy commissions. Right here on 10/8, I bought 69 shares at 67.50. Right, literally a minute and 30 seconds into market opening. And then right before market closed that day, I sold 45 of the shares. And then on the live chat, the person told me I needed to sell 2 more shares, so I sold 2 more shares, paid the commissions again, and then 2 days later, I sold these other 22 shares for $64 a share. I had to take a $3 loss on all of these shares, and that was just devastating. And then on top of it, they slapped me with another $5 commission. I paid $20 in commissions on this trade. And I understand, like, in order to get this kind of margin access, like, you have to pay commissions because they're taking on risk to allow you to take trades. Like, you're literally borrowing money from them, so they need to make profit on it. And I understand all of that. But starting back in January until today, I didn't trade today just because I'm so salty that all of this happened. But if we look at my entire history on the account, as a new trader, my realized P&L is in the green. And this was in the green by a lot more, but I've been screwing up the past week or so. But then we come over here and look at my true P&L and see that I have paid Suretrader $1,700 in commissions to use their account for the past 10 months. That's $170 every month just to use the account. And I'm not even using their actual trading platform. I'm just using their online access trading platform. That's excessive to me. Especially now when we have other accounts or other brokers that offer 0 commissions, like Charles Schwab or TD Ameritrade. And I already have a TD Ameritrade account. It's right here, so I just need to fund it. Now, I understand I wouldn't have any margin, but I wouldn't be paying stupid amounts of fees like this. And I could actually be in the green, even if it's only by 1/6 of this. So even if it's only $3 in the green, that's better than $1,700 in the red. It's just excessive. And here's a little side note, but looking at my history, maybe I should just completely avoid JNUG. I'm positive on the other things that I trade, except for dust. Maybe I should just avoid trading gold. I don't really have a good track record with it. But yeah, my account's still blocked, and I'm pretty much ready to make a withdrawal at this point. I just want all of my money back. I just want to take it. I will even pay this 3.5% transfer fee. Take it, put it into TD Ameritrade, and just make or lose a little bit of money and not pay commissions and not deal with my account getting blocked for no reason. Alright, and there you have it. That's my experience with Suretrader over the past 10 months. Not the greatest. Could be worse. But either way, I'm through. And I'm gonna take my money elsewhere. Stop giving them so much in commissions. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully I could save a couple of you guys from going through a similar experience. Either way, have a nice day.